Hello and a massive big warm welcome to this week's edition of the Soul Sync podcast. I'm Jason Paul. Now get ready to step into a world of healing and transformation with our guest this week, Dr. Irina Webster. As a medical doctor and allergist, Dr. Webster's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. After experiencing a health crisis of her own where she was diagnosed with a life-ending condition, she embarked on a profound quest for healing that ultimately led her to the realm of energy-based medicine and intuitive healing. Now Dr. Webster is a leading figure in the field, advocating for the integration of intuitive healing into mainstream healthcare. Her passion for empowering individuals to take control of their health goes beyond the physical, delving into the realms of energy and consciousness. Join us as we explore Dr. Webster's fascinating journey, from her early days practicing medicine in Russia and Australia to her transformative experience of healing herself using intuitive healing methods. Learn how she has dedicated her life to sharing the power of intuitive healing through her best-selling books, including The Secret Energy of Your Body and her other book, How to Heal Using Intuitive Healing. So discover the profound insights she offers into renewing your energy, shaping your overall health through energy shifts, and embracing a purpose-driven life. Don't miss this captivating conversation that will leave you inspired to tap into your own healing potential and live your best life. Well, there we go. Let's get on with it. Enjoy. So, Dr. Webster, Irina, firstly, welcome to the Soul Sync podcast.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, well, I'm very excited to have you here.
Me
So
too.
obviously, just talk through you a bit about your background in the introduction, but tell us about you and your story because it sounds fascinating.
Yes, well, my background is that I am a medical doctor. By
Mm,
background, this is the only job, conventional job I ever had. So when I finished being a doctor, I became an author and a healer. And people often ask me about my transition and what made me to change my occupation. And it's not just the occupation that I changed, I transformed the whole me, the whole consciousness, mindset, physical body, everything transformed. So
wow.
when transformation happens, it's not only just something one, it's like one thing starts, but then the whole the whole need to transform, and whole consists of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual.
So tell us about, so obviously, as you said, you're a medical doctor, you're in Australia.
Yes,
Tell
I'm in
us,
Australia now. Yeah.
okay, tell us about the story and what happened to you, because that sounds like that was the catalyst for everything that
Yes.
started to unfold from there.
Yes, first of all, I wanted to say that my background is Russian, and this is where my accent come from. I'm Russian, and I graduated medicine in Russia, and I was a pediatric specialist in Russia, and also an immunologist specialist as a person, a doctor who treat people with immune system problem. So when I came to Australia in 2001, I passed medical exams and I was able to work as a medical doctor at the Canberra Hospital. And I worked as a conventional medical doctor at the Canberra Hospital for about 3.5 years in Canberra Hospital until I experienced a breakthrough. So it started all from my illness. I personally become sick. What started with me, I had a very personal problem, female problems. I developed a severe uterine bleeding. And I was 36 at the time when it happened. And I was bleeding and bleeding, and until I started collapsing on the floor. I find it many times during night shifts, and because in hospital I had to do night shifts as a medical doctor, and nurses had to drag me and put on patient's bed to make me come back
Wow.
consciousness. So I developed anemia from the blood loss. So I had to go to see a specialist in the Canberra hospital, and he was a very experienced gynecologist in Canberra. He was quite famous in Canberra in his late 50s at the time. So he sent me to have all the medical tests like ultrasounds to find the reason of my severe bleeding. So, and he found that I had fibroids. So fibroids are tumors in uterus. It's not cancer, but they cause severe bleeding. So my gynecologist sent me to have surgery to have everything removed. So he gave me a referral and said, Irina, you will bleed to death unless you have everything removed. This is what he
Oh my
told me.
goodness. I bet that
Yeah,
was
that you will.
very scary.
That's right. And I was sitting with him, like, like me and you sitting right now, but I was sitting in him in real room. And when I heard these words, that Irina, you will bleed to death unless you have everything removed, I experienced something very interesting, maybe like paranormal, or I don't think it's paranormal. It was my intuition was talking to me. So I heard a voice that came from the middle part of my body, not from my head, but from the middle part of my body. And this voice was a very calming voice, a very reassuring voice. It didn't scream at me. It didn't make me feel fear. It was very calming and reassuring and subtle. And this voice told me, you'll be fine. Don't go. Just like that. And being an intuitive person,
Wow.
and I consider myself being an intuitive simply because I trusted my feelings. It's like maybe because I'm a woman, maybe because I'm a mother, maybe because I was a pediatrician, children specialist in, in Russia. So I don't know, but I always trusted my feelings. And this time when I heard this voice, I thought, yeah, I'll trust it. So I took a referral and I said, thank you so much to my doctor. I will consider surgery. I said that I didn't fight with him. Many people ask me, why didn't you fight with your doctor? But when you listen, when you hear your inner voice or voice of your intuition, you don't feel like fighting and you don't feel defensive. When people feel defensiveness, and start fighting, like, what you talking to me? It's not right. It's like they are being defensive. They go into fear mode, and this is not intuition. But my voice was so calm, reassuring. So when you
Was
hear
that the
your
first time
intuition,
that you had was that the first time that you'd had such a voice or a feeling in your life, or had it happened before?
it's actually maybe it happened before, but this time, because I had this kind of very threatening situation. It's like life-threatening. The doctor, my specialist told me that I would bleed to death. So it's kind of an extreme situation.
Well, yes,
So
most certainly. Bless
that's
you.
right. Yeah. So in this kind of situation, it was very obvious what I heard.
What did the voice say to you?
This is what he said. You'll be fine. Don't go.
So the voice was essentially saying to you, don't have the procedure.
Well, you see, this is what people need to understand. I don't advise people not to follow what doctors recommend them. I only advise them to listen to their guts and listen to their heart. So in my experience, it's what I heard. So I took the referral. I said, thank you so much to my doctor. But when I came home, I had only one thought in my mind, and this thought was that I need to experience a vibrational state. Vibrationals, it's when you feel vibrations or energy inside your own tissue, your own cells. It's called subtle energy. You know, our body consists of energy. And
Yes.
if you listen to this energy, you can rebalance energy inside you. So bring it into balance. So the whole body, the whole will come into balance. And healing comes from balance, energetic balance. So this is what I teach people, to feel this energy. I teach people how to go into vibrational state. Vibrational state, it's when you leave this dimension of time. So this is where we right now, we in the dimension of time, where we create illnesses. We feel emotions, we have thoughts, we experience other people's energy, we are affected by other people's energy. But when you leave this dimension of time and you go into another dimension, I call it timelessness. It's called
So
timelessness.
I want to come on to that in a bit more detail in a
Yeah.
moment, because I think this is fascinating. But just to kind of rewind to that
Okay.
moment. So you had this inner voice. It told you you will be fine, which I think you can't underestimate as well. You
Yeah.
are a doctor, and
Yeah.
you had this inner feeling and almost
Yeah.
in a way went against your contemporary, your fellow doctors'
That's
advice,
right.
because you heard that intuition. And I think what's so interesting about this is the fact
Mhm.
that you was in a life and death situation. So
That's
to
right.
sort of feel that feeling when your life is potentially on the line and to go with that, I think is absolutely fascinating. So you come home, you have this feeling. How do you then go from there to start even discovering about this energy healing?
Yes, so like I heard like this message in my head and like in my body that I need to experience a vibrational state. So vibrational state, it's when you go into timelessness, where this time doesn't have any effect. So in timelessness, you go into your energy field
Mhm.
and heal. So it's a whole process. It's like meditation, but it's much, much deeper, because many people meditate, but they only experience relaxation, which is also good, but they don't experience vibrations. Vibrations, you experience a vibrational state in a much deeper states of meditation, where you totally, totally go into yourself.
How did you know how to do that?
Through experience.
Oh,
So
so
at the time, yeah, at the time when it happens, I began to meditate, but I was not very experienced in
right.
meditation. I just only had some experiences through free spiritual groups. I joined just for the sake of interest. I just joined some free spiritual groups in the libraries, in like public libraries. They got together for free, and I sort of knew basics how to start meditating. I begin meditation from focusing on my hands, from deeply, deeply focusing on my hands until your hands start to feel tingling sensations. So when I say about vibrations in my own cells, in my everywhere, like we have cells everywhere, I usually begin it from hands and then start to rise vibrations like to my shoulders, neck, head, face, and then down to my body until your whole body vibrates. So you basically break down your whole body into energy, which is totally possible because our body consists of cells. Well, it's biology, cells. Cells can be broken down into molecules. It's biology and physics. Molecules can be broken down into atoms, and atoms can be broken into protons and electrons energy. You can feel this energy. When you start to feel your own energy inside your cells, you can bring in balance your whole energetic system because this energy runs through your body.
So I want to really delve deeper into this because it's absolutely fascinating. But how long did it take you to heal your condition using
Yeah.
this method?
So, okay, what happened to me in this particular time? So so when I felt that I need to experience a vibrational state, so I did it. I went to a room where I was totally alone. I sat on a chair and I began to meditate. So how long it takes me to go into the state? Well, I tell you, if somebody looking at the watch and looking how long I've been meditating, you haven't meditated. You haven't been into the state. Because when you go into
Oh, that's
the,
interesting.
yeah, you're still in this time. You haven't left the
Yeah.
dimension of time where you created the problem in the first place.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, straight away you're making a point there that resonates with me because I'm always aware of the time when I'm meditating. So
Yeah,
it's interesting.
it means that you experience relaxation, but you don't go into the energy field, which I call
Mm.
timelessness, because in the energy field, this time doesn't
Doesn't
exist.
exist. Yeah, of course
It just,
that
it
makes
doesn't matter.
sense.
But illnesses are created in this time. And illnesses, if you look at illnesses from energetic point of view, illnesses are energetic blockages. The energy, the subtle energy, I call it subtle energy, the energy I talked about, I call it subtle body energy because it's very subtle. It enters your body, our body, at the time of birth, maybe earlier, maybe at the time of conception. I'm not really sure about that, but definitely at the time of birth, this energy enters your body. It leaves the body when we die. It goes back to the collective consciousness. And when this energy runs through your body properly, you are in a state of health. But when this energy is blocked anywhere in the body, illnesses are created. So all illnesses or like medical problems, emotional problems, mental problems, it means energy blocked in the organs and in the systems. So to heal, you need to tune into your body and unblock the blockages or rebalance the energy. But
Can
you
you
can
talk us
also
through
do, yeah.
So I was going to say, sorry, you can tell that you're in Australia and I'm in England because there is a slight 1.5 second delay on the line. But the funny thing is, how amazing is that you're in Australia and I'm in England and we're talking now on video, the world we live in now,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It's
But
energy,
it
Jason,
is
it's
energy.
energy.
It is energy.
And a whole science. Look, now since we moved into the age of Aquarius, science and spirituality are together because both work with energy. Science, the most important, what's now the most important in science, but energy, everything is wireless. Nanotechnology, molecular biology, neuroscience, but it's all about microscopic particles.
Yeah, it is actually. I hadn't thought about it like that.
That's right. That's right. It is where the medicine goes towards more and more microscopic nanotechnology, molecular biology, gene therapy. It's all microscopic. You can't see it with naked eye. And what is the most important aspect in spirituality?
It is. Do you know what? I'd never thought of it like that. But even the fact that
Yeah,
we're talking over the internet now is done by particles of energy. Don't ask
it's
me,
science.
Irina, how it works. I have no idea
Mhm.
how we're talking on what takes 24 hours to do a flight
Well,
in.
it's science. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
science, but what we are connecting through physics,
yes.
quantum physics. We are connected through quantum physics, and the most important aspect in spirituality is to understand the energy that runs through my body.
So just to so if right, so I want to, let's say me, audience members and whatever, we want to feel our energy, but my meditation so far, I would say definitely fall under the umbrella of relaxation. I have had a couple of it, maybe I would say 3 or 4 experiences where I would say I've touched on the timelessness.
Mhm.
But you know, meditation isn't something that comes massively easy to me because my mind is just so busy. Tell us how we, because you mentioned about the hands and you know starting it.
Mm.
Walk us through what it, and it probably sounds funny in itself because what you're doing, I guess, is nothing, and it's the nothingness that gets you there. But the mechanics, how do we get into that timeless energy state?
Okay, so first of all, the basic step you can do is to just realize, aware of the energy that runs through your body. Probably the most basic technique is just to close your eyes and put your hands together like that and start rubbing your hands together until they're warm. Then if they're warm, spread them apart like that, about like 30 centimeters apart, and start bringing them closer together, but do it millimeter by millimeter. If you do it fast, you miss it, but start bringing them together until you feel this resistance. Resistance. It's like tingling sensations in your hands. I feel it like I want to bring my hands together, but I can't because I feel these tingling sensations in my hands.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And it's like what you're holding an energy ball. This is called energy ball exercise. So you can feel this ball from all sides, like from top and bottom. You can shrink it and expand it. It's your own energy. So you
Hmm.
can even feel the quality of your energy right now just by being aware of this ball.
Oh, I'll be playing with my energy ball later on, I think, Karina. I'll be having a go at that this evening.
Yeah. So this is your hands. Your hands, our hands, are the most sensitive body part to energy. So people usually feel energy with their hands straight away, even beginners. What is more difficult for people, and you probably need to practice it like quite a time, a long time.
But it's something
And
I guess you have to keep practicing. It's a lifelong journey,
yeah,
this, isn't it?
that's right, is to feel energy, not just in your hands, but in all body parts, including the organ which is sick. So what I didn't finish my story. So when I started this meditation, when I put myself into vibrational state and I felt that my whole body vibrating or tingling with energy, I tuned into my uterus. It's where I had the problem. Like I tuned into my uterus internal awareness, focused attention inside, and I actually saw tumors that cause bleeding. And this is called
Wow.
inner eye. Have you heard inner eye?
I've never heard of it. No, no.
Inner eye, it's our ability, it's actually natural ability to see what's going on in your organs inside your own body. It's natural ability, we all have it, but because we are programmed by society and from the childhood you were told, think with your head. Think with your head, Jason.
Yeah.
This is we programmed by school, by parents, just to think with our head. Nobody taught us how to feel and sense.
Do you know what? It
But
makes sense. It does make sense because why would we not be able to look within our own body when you think about it?
that's right. Like if you look to the very past, like the history of like all this intuitive healing, there is saying, a common saying in English language. People say, but nobody knows your body better than you do.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody knows your body better than you do. It's where it come from ancient Greece? Who knows? But it is like ancient, nobody knows how old it is. But this is about this ability to be able to connect to your organs, body parts, and feel what's going on.
That's fascinating. So do you know what? Just hearing this, I think it's absolutely amazing. So
Mhm.
obviously you are a doctor.
Yeah.
How has this actually changed your view now in terms of medicine? Because what you're doing here, this self-healing, this isn't the world that we really live in.
But it's our future.
Well, yes, I agree with you there.
It's our future, and this is what I dedicated myself, my own life to do. I teach people these intuitive healing techniques. So what I didn't finish my story again. So when I tuned into my uterus, I saw these tumors that caused bleeding. And then I saw a green light came through the top of my head, like a green light came from here, went into my uterus and started cleansing my uterus from the inside out like a laser treatment, like laser treatment people use a lot in medicine. And I felt the whole process. So it's like I saw it or I felt it, but I felt that this light, it's like you need to
Ah,
experience that. It is a experimental or like you have to feel it. I felt the whole process. So on the next morning, my bleeding reduced by maybe by 60, 70, 80%. I still had some bleeding left, but I continued the same healing, vibrational healing for 3 days because I was on a sick leave. I didn't have to go back to hospital. My gynecologist gave me sick leave. So after the third day, so 3 days, my bleeding totally stopped. Totally. And I
wow.
never experienced the same problem again. So now I am 53. What happens with me? I was 30, 37,
Mhm.
but this episode in my life made me question who and what healed me. This is like what changed my consciousness as a medical doctor,
I bet it
that
did. Yeah.
who and what healed me because I actually didn't go for surgery. I stopped the bleeding. I stopped the bleeding using natural, absolutely natural
We're using yourself,
treatment and
you know,
healing. Yeah,
using
myself,
your, yeah.
my energy. I rebalanced my energy inside my uterus. At the same time, when I did that, I also realized what sort of emotions and thought patterns caused these tumors in the first place. Because
Mm.
every illness or condition that we experience is connected to our life, how we live our life. So there were also lots of problems I had at the time, a lot of thoughts, a lot of stinking thinking, and a lot of negative feelings I experienced like before this problem started. And all the problems actually was connected to my relationships. I just
Mm.
went through a very traumatic and dramatic divorce, and I was agonizing about this. I was blaming, criticizing my partner and myself, and I thought I never experienced love again, and I was crying all nights and
Oh,
stuff like that. So I
yeah.
was torturing myself. My ex-partner, he was fine. He probably didn't think anything what I thought or felt. I was torturing myself, and these emotions, they had to find an outlet. So our emotions, they don't disappear.
No, they
They
don't. No.
they go into the organs and they become tumors. So conventional medicine doesn't tell us why people develop tumors, including cancer. But it's our toxic, cancerous thoughts and emotions. They had to find an outlet and became tumors. So tumors, benign, like in my case, it was benign tumors, but still tumors. If I probably didn't realize it, I may have something cancerous, I don't know, but I stopped it on time. But I did realize what caused the problem in the first place.
Well, I think I actually 100% agree with you that negative thinking, because I've noticed
Yeah.
it. Since I've been on my spiritual journey, I've become much more aware of people who are ill and what's going on in their life and what's happening to them. And even I've started to think in that way. Um, and you're right. It makes sense. Of course, all of these negative emotions and whatever, they need to have an outlet somewhere. So that makes sense. What did the doctor who was going to do the surgery on you? What was his opinion when he found out that you'd done this?
Well, I didn't go for surgery.
Oh,
I
right.
didn't
Yeah.
surgery.
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't
Yes. Yes.
go for surgery. So when I saw him later on, he asked me what happens. I said my bleeding stopped. But because I didn't have cancer, if bleeding stopped, then fine. Basically, you see, I took all responsibility for myself. And so this is what
Yes.
intuitive healing assumes, that you take responsibility for everything that happens with you. So you don't go into blame anymore. You don't like transfer responsibility on somebody else. You take responsibility for yourself. So, but well, my doctor, he just said it was a spontaneous remission.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I think as well. I think obviously medicine focuses so much on cure rather than
Okay.
kind of,
Rebalancing. Yeah.
yeah, it does. And it makes sense. So obviously, and rightly so, you've dedicated your life to sharing the
Mhm.
power, and you've even gone as far to write 2 books, The Secret Energy of Your Body and How to Use
That's
Intuitive
right.
Healing.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of the secret energy of my body, where I researched all the organs and symptoms, and emotional connection to organs and symptoms, and how to heal by using energy, using your hands. It's possible to feel energy from organs using your hands. So it's on this book. And another one, how to heal using intuitive healing. It's much more advanced, it's like continuation from the first book.
Oh, do you know what? I want to read your book. I think it's absolutely
I will send it
fascinating.
to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you. I'm going to start reading it, and definitely, because one thing I really wanted to do you know what? It's such a coincidence as well that you're on this show,
Mhm.
because I was having a chat the other day to a very, very good medium about the
Mhm.
fact that I'm having my own difficulties because I'm trying to become mastered my own energy yet. And it's very funny that as soon as she says that, the next day you come along, an energy specialist, and now we're having this conversation. In terms of how you live your life now,
Yeah.
what do you do every day to ensure that you're still, because obviously you've taken a lot from all of these experiences. How do you live your life now, and what practices do you do?
Well, I definitely meditate, not just for relaxation, but I go into deeper states of timelessness every day. I begin my day into going into this place of timelessness. So it means you have no thoughts, no feelings, not the negative feelings, but you feel subtle energy. So it's more like sensations of energy rather than feeling the feelings. So I begin my day. So what else? I do physical exercise. Physical exercise, like going to gym or walking, I do it every day. I try to exercise quite seriously every day, because this is what make you feel alive. This is what physical exercise. It's not just physical experience. It's very much spiritual. For somebody who
Mm.
understands chakras, and I do, like medical intuition is all about understanding chakras and connecting chakras to organs. What make you physically alive is physical exercise. So it changes chakras, it's changing your aura. People who exercise quite vigorous exercise, they start to I see red aura around them.
What does the red aura around them mean? Is it like a sign of
Red
vitality?
aura, that's right. It's a sign of stronger body. It's first chakra. If you know chakras at least a little bit,
Yes.
the first chakra is red, and it's like a basic chakra, base chakra, the chakra that make us feel safe, secure, supported, and protected in my own body. It make you feel very independent as a whole.
Mm.
Because most people, they pick up all the stuff from other people, from society, from everything else. But this red energy, first chakra, make you feel so independent, strong, but independent, grounded in your own body. So you are resilient to other people's energy. And it is so necessary, especially like if you go through pandemic. Well, it's like finishing now, but still lots of people get COVID, but you don't have to get sick. If you have so strong red energy around you, first chakra energy, immune system is connected to the first chakra. I tell you, it's like immunologist, and I'm fully qualified immunologist in Russia before I came to Australia. Immune system is connected to the first chakra.
Mm.
So when you make your first chakra stronger, You
That's
don't have
what.
to be sick at all. This is why physical exercise, absolutely spiritual practice. It's physical, but it's also spiritual.
Do you know what? Everything you say just makes so much sense. I think this has been such an interesting conversation, and you've really got me thinking. And I'm definitely going to read
Yeah,
your book, because I think that the way you explain things as well, just it just makes sense to me. It's and I find it
thank you.
absolutely fascinating. Well, if people want to find out more about you, you could just go to the show notes, and I'll put Irina's books there. And I'll also,
Yeah,
once I've read the books, I'll also put some lines on the show notes about my experiences. But all I can
yeah,
say, Irina, is I'm so glad that you've managed to get to this place, and I'm so glad that you're paving the way in, really pushing out there how to heal yourself, because we need more Irinas around the world who are doctors, spreading this
absolutely.
message.
Absolutely, because people are even not even aware of
No,
their intuitive healing power. Intuitive
they're
healing, it means the power that inside
not.
them.
They're not. And I think that I really hope that this, the message gets out there, because I agree with you. I think that we're so quick to turn to conventional medicines.
Yeah,
But Irina, all that leaves me to say is thank you so much for coming on the
it's my
Soul
pleasure.
Sync. It's been a delight.
My, my
Well, there we go. I found that conversation to be absolutely fascinating, and I'm definitely going to be reading Irina's book very, very soon, because I want to learn more about that myself. So thank you for joining me on another enlightening episode of Soul Sync. Do remember, if you want to find out when episodes are released straight away, please do follow, subscribe, wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. Do remember, as always, you can get more content of my pearls of wisdom, life lessons and experiences over on my YouTube channel. Just search Jason Paul Soul Sync. You can also watch the full interviews there if you prefer to watch them rather than listen to them. I know some of you do. And do remember, you can always email the show, get in touch. Just email hello@jasonpaulmedium.com. I'm Jason Paul. You've been in the Soul Sync. Until next time, a massive goodbye.